Mayor of Mariupol joins us now via Skype. He has left the city, but we are not sharing his exact location for obvious reasons. Sergei Orlov, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. First of all, are you in touch with people who have stayed in Mariupol?
Hello. Yes, sure. We are on constant touch, but we should understand that connection is very low and only time for time because there is no any cellular phone. So just so short messages and some calls and conversation. But we still have ability to communicate with our citizens and do it time from time.
How often is that? How often are you able to get in touch with people inside the city?
1 or 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay, and what are you hearing from them?
A lot of different questions. So first of all, it was question about how to survive, how to live. For example, mother can ask in very quiet words, I have a ill child on my arms, what should I do? I don't have food, what should I do? Unfortunately, there is no answer to this question because of city is blocked by Russian troops and they does not allow to solve any humanitarian issue. And people are most of question about how to evacuate to Ukrainian controlled territory. It's from civil citizens.
What's the infrastructure situation there like? Because we've heard that there was no water, no power, no heating in several parts of the city. How are people coping?
That information is old information, so we have any utility for 20 days and the situation does not change and it becomes much worse. City is in full blockade and there is no any supply for any humanitarian reason. And we do not have possibility to provide even medical help, even food for children, water. Even Russian troops does not allow to leave the city to bury killed person. So it's the issue. And we faced with it and we try to provide somehow this humanitarian help through volunteers. And it's very hard for people to live because city is under continuous bombing and shelling. All over Ukraine, we had about 200 cases of airstrikes, air bombing, and one half of them is to Mariupol. So each 15-20 minutes, they use a bomb on Mariupol, and a lot of destroyments, a lot of war crimes, a lot of cases of genocide is made by bombing from Russian aircrafts.
Do you have any indication of how many people are still left inside the city?
Our estimation is that from 250,000 to 300,000 citizens is still in Mariupol.
I want to talk to you about the bombing of a theater that made headlines around the world. We talked about it, of course, a lot here on our channel. It's been almost a week since the attack, and we still haven't heard about the number of victims, about the exact number of people who were sheltering inside the building. Do you have any more information?
We also do not have final confirmed information. It was several attempts by city council, by volunteers to get somehow to dramatic theater, but there is still battles and tank battles all over dramatic theater. So we just know that next day is about 130 citizens were able to evacuate from bomb shelter and the dramatic theater, but unfortunately no confirmed information. And you should understand that in 4 days we had a next awful war crime, so it was airstrikes to our art school when we have 400 citizens in this art school. It's on the left bank of our city, or left bank of the river in our city, Levoberezhny district.
Are you working on the assumption that the remaining people inside the theater are dead?
I think a lot of people were killed by this bombing. I understand that people who were in bomb shelter and the dramatic theater, they survived, but a lot of people were in dramatic theater itself. So they prepare food, they sleep there. So I think we have a big number of killed people, but I don't know the exact number.
In the first week or two of the war, there were some attempts to make a ceasefire that lasted maybe an hour or two. There was a humanitarian corridor that was set up that allowed a few thousand people to leave. That hasn't been the case in recent days. Why is that?
Russia doesn't want to allow to evacuate our citizens to Ukrainian side. They do all their best to evacuate them to Russia, to push them to shell their houses, private many flat houses, and they are talking like, look, this is the only way, you must go there. But you should understand that it's criminal and war crimes when the aggressor when the army that destroys and kills Ukrainian gives opportunity to evacuate to the country which has war with Russia. It's nonsense and war crimes, and they do not allow to provide any humanitarian help from Ukraine, from city council to Mariupol.
And is the city council of Mariupol in touch with Russia? Are they trying to negotiate ceasefires and humanitarian corridors still now?
The negotiation goes between Ukrainian government and Russian government, and also and the Vice Minister Vereshchuk and Donetsk Governor Pavlo Kirilenko. So they negotiate with Russian party.
We did hear of those reports that tens of thousands of civilians in Mariupol have been evacuated to Russia by Russian troops. Can you confirm that information? Do you have a specific number, perhaps?
We understand that for 15 days of our attempts to set up humanitarian corridor, I mean official humanitarian safe corridor, it was not successful. So after that, people start to evacuate, put to their own mines, and they use this road. It was non-official, it was non-confirmed, it was non-safe. But anyway, when people estimate the risk of being killed against after bombing or shelling, and the risk of being killed while evacuating, they use this possibility to evacuate. And in our estimation, about 45,000 citizens evacuate to Zaporizhia, and they are on the way both on private cars and walking to nearest villages. From there we can take them by bus, and our estimation that maybe about 5,000 to 6,000 citizens is evacuated to Russia and temporary uncontrolled territory. It's our estimations.
Are you worried about them? Do you think they're safe over there?
I don't think they are safe, because a lot of information that Russia took their passports. Russia give them way to Russian cities that are not near to Ukraine, so it's different cities, even in Siberia and all over Russian territory. I don't think it's safe, and it shouldn't be, because people do not want to evacuate to Russia, but unfortunately Russia do these efforts and pushes them to evacuate this way.
Sergei Orlov, the deputy mayor of Mariupol, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us, and our thoughts, of course, are with the people of your city.